everyone, my name is Yasmin and today I'm going to be talking you through how to stay connected to your friends and family while social distancing both inside and outside of your homes. So I'm just going to be sharing a few little things you can do and a few apps and stuff you can use to do this. Now, of course, with the people outside of your household, your phone is just your best source. You can call and text them, you can video call them as well, which I'll get onto any minute. But another thing that's really good to do, either when you and the person you want to talk to are both kind of busy and free at different times, or maybe you only have time to call each other once a week and you want to speak to each other more than that and texting doesn't feel like enough for you, voice notes are absolutely great for that, because as long as you've got kind of 5-10 minutes free to send them one, then when they've got a few minutes free they can listen to it back and send you one back, and at least you get to actually verbally communicate with each other in that way. Like I said, of course there is video calling, but there are a few other apps that have become popular during this time. I know people have been using Zoom for work calls, but I also know some of my friends have been using them as a group calling app as well. One of the apps that's become very popular during this time has been House Party. So the good thing about House Party is you can add your friends on there, but when you're in a group call together, if you leave your room unlocked, anyone who is friends with any of you in the chat is able to join. So it's almost like you can either meet new people or bring some of your different friendship circles together, or meet some of your friends' friends, or if you want to keep your room locked so that doesn't happen, you do have the option to do that as well. But one reason House Party is really good is because it has some games like trivia and kind of like a draw and guessing one that come with it, so you can all play it as a group that are on the call. Facebook Messenger also has a really good video calling system. I think it's similar to House Party, but it's just between you and your Facebook friends, and again they have some games and filters that you can play with over your video call. Then of course there are the classic apps that loads of people use or that come with your phone, like Skype and FaceTime, but during this time it's quite nice to kind of jazz those up a bit, and instead of a normal video call, something lots of people have been doing are things like pub quizzes. So maybe if there is a group of you, you could nominate a different person to kind of be the quiz master each time and come up with the questions, maybe set once a week or something for you and your group to do that. Then in terms of other apps, there's games that you can play with your friends and family remotely, even little things like Words with Friends, and I've seen there's a version of Cards Against Humanity as a website that you and your friends can play each other on. So just getting to do things like that that maybe you would have done together in person, now you can keep doing virtually. And my absolute favourite app during social distancing that I have to mention is actually a browser extension for Google Chrome. So it's called Netflix Party, and it basically means if you go onto anything on Netflix, you can create a link and share that with anyone you would like to watch the episode or movie with. So it means that all of you are watching it at the exact same time, and if one of you pauses it, it pauses it for all of you, so you stay up to date. There's a little chat down the side that you can type in as well, or if someone shares their link with you, you can watch together. But that's another one that I've been loving using to kind of jazz up your FaceTime sessions. So even though it does have the chat down the side, if you share a Netflix party link with someone and you FaceTime each other or group video call each other, it's just like a really nice way to do something that you probably would have done before social distancing and probably would have seemed so simple to just get together and watch Netflix, but now it's quite nice that you set aside that time to use Netflix Party and video call each other. So something about doing these things like these video chats or these games with your friends and family who are social distancing outside of your household are like, it's really important to schedule this time in. So of course you can just call each other kind of off the cuff, but if you schedule in something like a quiz night or watching something on Netflix Party together, it's really good because it gives you routine, it gives you something to look forward to kind of in the short term when things feel uncertain, and it also means that you're definitely going to have that time set aside for each other. It's the same as if you were gonna plan to meet up and go for dinner or something, but you really want to plan to set aside this time to video call or play a game or something like that virtually. Now I also want to talk about some things you can do to stay connected to the people that are in your household while you're social distancing. It might not feel like this is important because it feels like you're all together all of the time now because you're staying indoors, and it's important to do that, but it's also important to remember that it's a different dynamic in your household at this time. you might feel like you're a bit on top of each other. People are going to have conflicting interests and schedules. Someone might be working at one time. It's also important to think about the people who might have been used to being home alone during the week or certain points during the week, who now don't have that time for themselves anymore because everyone has to stay at home. Maybe they use that time for themselves or to do something productive. So it's important to consider that everyone in your household is going to have conflicting schedules. Just because you're all in one house together at the moment, it doesn't mean you're spending quality time together. So that's the thing that makes it really important, especially when it can be a stressful time or being together so intensely at the moment. You want to schedule in that quality time where you can relax together and switch off from any other obligations like work that you might have, and spend that time together so that maybe it doesn't get as stressful all living together so intensely at the moment. So like the kind of virtual games with your friends that aren't in your household, of course you can whip out a board game and all play that as a household. Puzzles have been very in demand at the moment, so that's something to do which can be challenging and take up a lot of time, and you kind of might have to work together for that one. I think, yeah, it works better if you're working together. If you have a garden or an outside space, definitely take advantage of that. You can play some kind of sport for fun, and it gets you active as well. It gets you outside, even if it's just in your garden, so you're not just cooped up in your household like it feels like you might have been for the last few weeks. And then of course there's little things, even just like cooking for each other. Maybe you can do it on rotation where a certain person cooks each day, or you have like one night a week where someone's going to cook for everyone. You're going to plan what that is in advance. With these things, I think simple is the most effective, especially at a time like this. It's showing us that simple things are the most effective things to do. So make sure you're staying in contact with your friends and family, both in and outside of your household, because it does give you something to look forward to, and it makes this time easier, makes it go quicker, and it's really nice to just kind of come together and remind yourself of who's important in your life and schedule that time aside for them, even during a time like this. So I hope this helps some of you who are social distancing, maybe gives you some ideas for new ways you can connect with your friends and family, new things to try out during this time because you've got the time to do it. And again, maybe these might be things that you carry on after social distancing. Like I said, I love my Netflix party, so I think that's something I'll definitely be carrying on if I'm not with one of my friends and we're trying to watch something. But yeah, I hope this helps you during this time, and just make sure you're setting aside that time and remembering how important it is to stay in contact with your friends and family.